Have you ever struggled to find the motivation to do the things you really wish to do, feeling tired, unmotivated, and constantly pushing off your dreams and your goals until the next day, maybe tomorrow? And this puts you in a shame spiral where you're constantly pushing away your hopes, pushing away your dreams, and following patterns that are no longer serving you. It takes courage to acknowledge this. It takes willpower to overcome it and to realize that we have to move through what's blocking us. We have to move through our lack of motivation, and we have to truly go for it. And this is a very nuanced experience, but we can't keep pushing it off till tomorrow. We need to do it right now. And so today, I'm going to be cooking you orange chicken because so many moments in my life when I was trying to find motivation, when I was trying to get through my anxieties, my tiredness, my chronic fatigue syndromes, my depression, all the bandwidth of different things, this is a dish that I would go to a lot in comfort. But also, I stopped eating this dish because it started to cause me a lot of digestion issues, a lot of the heaviness of what orange chicken, which should be a light dish, has become. And so this is also me moving through the blockage of not feeling connected to this dish anymore and coming up with my own recipe that is way more supportive to what I really wish to eat. More organic ingredients, less soy and more coconut aminos with a little bit of soy allows the whole dish to lighten up a bit. Nicer flour allows the dredging to not feel as heavy. And so what I'm really creating with this dish is when we eat orange chicken, how we're wanting it to feel more light, but it's heavy. So this is a recipe to make orange chicken lighter and more refreshing. And so I have the chicken, I have cilantro, shallots, garlic, an egg, ginger, scallions, a red bell pepper, broccoli, red chili, black pepper, coconut aminos. I bought, instead of an orange, I got orange juice, and then cornstarch, rice, and einkorn. And so I need to start the rice right now, which I realized. Let me grab my measuring cup. And so with rice, you can wash it you don't always have to wash rice. Usually it's pretty clean by the time you get it, especially if you buy organic. So I'm gonna get it in the pot. So I'm only gonna do 1 cup of rice. But what I'm gonna do is, the ratio that I always use is 1 cup rice to 1.5 water. And I'm honestly rushing a little bit because I forgot that I wanted to do this before I started. Whoopsie. All right, let's keep going. You know, and that's, as is life. We just gotta roll with the punches. We just gotta roll with, yep, it's already ready to go. All right, back to the chicken and finding motivation. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this chicken while I talk about motivation. You know, in the culture that we live in, motivation has become built around shame, not around passion, not around supporting. And how we do this is we set goals, and then when we don't achieve them, we shame ourselves to no end. And then that shame creates a dynamic to where we're never going to achieve what we're searching for, achieve what we're wishing to accomplish. And so what I've uncovered in the journey is the less that I shame myself, it's a balance of not, being like, oh, I'm not going to do this. So, oh, it's okay though. I'm, not going to shame myself, not be upset with myself. It's a balance of pursuing what we really want without hurting ourselves in the process. And so many of us just hurt ourselves in the process. It's like, oh, I have this passion to do more art or work out or make cooking videos. But, oh, when I don't do it, I just tell myself I'm garbage and nothing ever gets done. And for me, especially with, my patterns of unmotivation, of anxiety, depression, I have learned over time that in my passions, I have to give myself more time. I can't jam it all in. We have to figure out the unique dynamic of how our body responds to situations, and some of us need more time for a warm up. Some of us just need to be pushed over the edge. And it's a mixture of all of it. And so I feel like what I have really learned about the journey is strive for what you want, go for it regardless if you fail or not, because it's a learning experience that will really help you grow. A lot of the times what is really blocking us internally is just, so that block, that like tightness that we feel, is all the energy that wants to pour through to support us in what we're doing. And that block is us holding it all. It's like we're trying to hold back. We're like the dam holding back all the water, and we just have to let go and surrender into it. And when we surrender into it, we finally realize, I have so much energy to do this. And our, tiredness and anxiety and fatigue issues, it comes from us holding it in. We're holding in the life force. We're holding in our creative potential. And then we're wondering why we're unable to summon the energy, because life is pushing you in the direction that you're really wanting to go. You're setting intention. You know the dreams that you want. Life will orchestrate that for you. An intelligence greater than you will guide you to that. But we are the ones that stop ourselves. And a lot of the times it's because, even the example of this show, I have had so many social media ideas, creative projects. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've gone through probably 20 different ideas. And all of those ideas led me to this moment, led me to breaking through my shell, led me to examining myself deep enough to understand where I'm blocking, how to speak to a camera, all these different things so I could finally break through. We just have to really surrender to the process and surrender the timeline of how it occurs and really just go for it. Because at the end of the day, you will not be, when all is said and done, you will not be upset that your dreams failed. You will be upset that you never even tried. And you'll never know. You'll never know what you could have achieved. All right, so I got the chicken there. Now I'm gonna cut up all of these. Oh, garlic on the floor. Oh well. So I'm going to mince the garlic, mince the ginger, cut the shallot. With this dish, you honestly don't need a shallot, but I just wanted to add a shallot. So, but really the primary thing that you want in this is the garlic and the ginger for the sauce. And so the sauce is, oh, I forgot the other two things. Woohoo! Good thing they're right here. Orange juice, coconut aminos, a little bit tamari, mainly coconut aminos, and then soy sauce to finish, just for a little more umami. Rice vinegar, chili flake, all of these. But you're gonna start with taking the ginger, and you just take a spoon as a peeler, because you don't want to use a peeler on ginger because the outer layer is the most fragrant. Oh, that flew over there. Woo. The most fragrant, the most flavorful. And so we're gonna want to just use a spoon because we can just take the outer layer off and not lose too much of the actual ginger. And you honestly don't need too much. Like, I had that whole thing, like that is perfect. So I'll just clean up a bit. All right. Yeah, it takes a willpower to really push for what you want. But we also live in toxic masculine culture that's just overwork, over push yourself. And some men and some women and some people are programmed, designed more for that push. And some of us aren't. I was never designed for that. I struggled for a long time within it. It's one of the reasons that I became a cook, because I was trying to break through my constant inability to do anything or push myself. And I also played a lot of sports growing up, so cooking became very familiar because there is a physical push to the job. There's this determination that you have to have. You're not as much in your mind, but you're more in your body, in the experience of what you're doing. And so, yeah, we have to learn, if we're not, type A masculinity, this like go, 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 produce, 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 we have to learn our patterns. We have to learn our rhythms. And so over time, I learned that I need time to rest so I can create. I need buildup. Like it took me probably a couple hours to like go buy the ingredients, get my notes for the show, do all the things to be ready to actually go. And that's also days before of thinking about it. So I'm just mincing the shallots, and then I'm gonna cut all the ginger and garlic together. I'll get my pan going, pot going. So you really have to ask yourself, what type are you? Who are you? What do you really need? Because this whole push yourself until you break mentality just doesn't actually help you create the dreams that you want. It just burns you out. So you have to know your threshold. You have to know how much you can actually handle until you break. And you also have to be willing to be pushed, expanded, creative to come up with solutions to issues. Even with the show, I had to think all week of how I'm going to streamline a couple of things in the production because it was taking way too long. And it took me multiple days to finally figure out the solution, but I did because I was willing enough to surrender enough into allowing life to unfold and to figure it out, And so I'm just mincing this. You want to get a pretty fine mince because you don't want big ginger pieces. And then we're just going to sweat this down. You don't want it to burn because then it's going to mess up the sauce. So we're going to cook this down. And then once it's sweat down enough, we're going to add in all of the liquids. Yeah, that's getting to a good place. So, and then the primary thing we have to do next is dredge this, and then we're going to cut the broccoli and bell pepper so it's ready when everything's cooking, when we have the chicken ready. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit just so it doesn't burn, because a sweat, you just need a medium heat. You don't need too much. So I have all this ready. Cool. Now I'm going to take this, put this over here for a moment. When that's ready, I'll dump it in. So I'm going to make my dredge. Usually I like to use, actually, let's use a bowl for the egg. And I'm going to add a little salt to it. And if you want to season with chili flake or black pepper, you can, but I feel like I'm adding so much flavor with the sauce that I don't really feel like it's pretty pointless with the dredge. So the egg is just to coat the chicken so that the flour really sticks. And then I'm going to do equal parts flour and cornstarch. And yeah, just equal parts. You don't have to overly think this. This is probably quarter cup and quarter cup. And then I'll just add a little salt to that. Then I'm going to take all of this, put that in there, flip my cutting board and pretend that there's not a bunch of aromatics on it. All right. Oh, I need that. No, I'll put that over there. And that's the fun with cooking, is like, where do things go? How do I want to organize this all? How do I want to make that happen? Cooking really reflects who you are, how your brain operates, your different styles. So I'm going to mix the flour. Oh, I did the one thing I didn't want to do though. You want to keep one hand for wet and one hand for dry. So I got that cooking down. All right, and so now I'm gonna add half of the chicken. Oh, before I do that, let me grab another plate, put the finished product on. So I'm gonna grab half of the chicken, just throw it in here. Oh, I did it again. Oh my gosh, it's okay, not the end of the world. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit more time. So I'm gonna take some of this, toss it around. You don't wanna pile it on because it's gonna be hard to get the dredge on. Oh, and I did another mistake, which is fine with this. I forgot to salt the chicken beforehand. You always wanna salt your chicken first. so that the salt gets into the chicken. So I'm just gonna go over here and doodle-doo. Maybe I'll add a little bit to that. Cool. It's not gonna be the end of the world. This is such a salty dish. So I'm gonna take that. Let's get it coated. Because if your hands are wet, then it's gonna start clumping to your hands and you're gonna have all these clumps and it's gonna be really hard to evenly coat the chicken. All right. That's looking good. Probably do a couple more pieces. You know, in a lot of my life, I've really struggled with finding motivation, with experiencing chronic fatigue, experiencing a lot of depression and anxiety. My dreams, what I wanted to push for, felt so unknown. Like, what am I even doing? What am I even going for? And then, yeah, it took a lot to really figure out who I was along the journey. It took a lot to really figure out how to summon that energy, how to trust. And I guess what I'm getting at is a lot of the times it's not even about trusting. It's just about doing and seeing what happens, seeing what occurs. So I'm just gonna add maybe a quarter cup, eighth of a cup of the coconut aminos. And then I'm gonna add the orange juice and then some black pepper, some red chili flake. You can omit this if you don't like heat. And then I'll probably add the rice vinegar. No, I can add a little bit right now. So the rice vinegar the orange is the primary citrus element in this dish, but the rice vinegar just gives it a little bit more of a punch. So you have a little bit more of that acidity when it's all said and done. So I'm gonna get this going. All right, moving this over. Gosh, I'm fumbling a little bit today. You know, and that's the thing, is we put so much pressure on ourselves for how we show up. We're not allowed to stumble. We're not allowed to fall. We have to be this absolutely perfect thing. And I love how in this show, I kind of start having these moments because I know something's trying to come out of me. Vulnerability is trying to be expressed. And so, yeah, just really surrendering to that and really being okay. It's like, it's not the end of the world if you have mess ups. It's not the end of the world if things aren't perfect. It will all come together because you're learning and you're evolving, and eventually you'll look back and be like, wow, I have come a really long way. I have come a really long way from a lot of the things that I've done. I have stumbled and fell and fucked up immensely in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for all the times that things didn't go my way because it pushed me into where I am now. And it can be challenging to be grateful for pain, for growth, for embarrassment, so many different things. And it, you know, the more we learn that in life, not everything is perfect, the more we will learn to put ourselves out there and surrender into life, because we have to really put ourselves out there if we want to create the life that we really desire, and realize that we are worthy to create that life that we desire. We are worthy of really going for our dreams, going for our hopes. And it's a journey. It's a lot, you know, like right now I'm working a full-time job, playing the capitalist game and making this cooking video on the side, and single father. I mean, I have a lot on my plate, and it takes an inner willpower to really go for what you want. And it also takes support to really ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing it only for yourself? Are you doing it for the ones you love? Is it coming from your heart? Is it coming from your ego? Are you doing it because you believe God is guiding you? Or are you doing it because there's a deeper place inside of the feelings within your body that are pushing you? Whatever it is beautiful. But being able to acknowledge and witness that and to understand the intention behind what we're doing is really important, because then that shows the framework of what we're creating. Are we creating something from a place of love that's supporting others, that is really giving our hearts? Or are we creating it from a place of ego and greed and I just want money, I don't care what people think, or I just want people to see my face and see who I am. I don't care about them. I don't care about you. And I came to a place where I realized, and I was humbled with, unconsciously I was operating from my ego, from the place of just wanting to be seen, wanting to make a lot of money, wanting to have the dream life that I wanted. And I realized that I can't create something that's healing and supportive to others if it's just coming from a place of my egoic greed. And so one of the questions that I asked myself that came up for me internally was, would I be doing what I'm doing if there was no money involved? If I didn't achieve what I thought it would achieve, would I still be doing it? And what I was doing before, I realized, no, I completely would not be doing this. This is all out of my ego. And that's when this cooking show really started to emerge. And something came out of my heart of when I was really sick, immensely struggling with depression, learning how to eat food again, because I just ate hot Cheetos and Mountain Dew like a dummy, and pizza growing up. I realized my intention was, I want to help people heal. I want to find my own vulnerability. I want to help people find their vulnerability. I want to help others feel alive. And that's why I made this show, because I realized regardless if I made money, this is what I would be doing. So you have to ask yourself, beyond your normal job that pays the bills, that's something completely different. But for your passions, for your creativity, for what you really are pushing for in life, what is your intention? Why are you really doing this? And that will really show you who you are, show you your character, and show you what you're really about. And so the sauce is reducing down. So this is really hot. Now I'm gonna you wanna add a decent amount of oil. If you're trying to not have it be as greasy, you could just put a little bit of oil and saute it. That will totally work. I added a little bit more oil just so I can get a shallow fry. And you wanna drop these in one by one. You don't wanna throw them all in at once, because you want it to evenly coat the bottom and have a little space so you can get that crispiness. You can also grab tongs, a spoon, whatever you need to flip everything. And then I'll probably cook all of that. And then I'll cook the veggies really quickly afterwards. And then I'll have the rice and I'll have the sauce and I'll be done. And that's the thing that I really love about this dish is it's pretty quick. So many things that we eat, we hype it up to be this extravagant process. And this is a lot of ingredients that a lot of people don't know, or, haven't had a lot of time with. And the more that you work with different ingredients, the more that you work with Asian flavors, the more that you'll understand it and you'll be able to, easily make these things. And I'm really excited for the coconut aminos. Really makes this dish lighter. The einkorn flour really, makes it not feel as heavy with the normal flour. This just is one of my favorite dishes. And the obstacle is the way, pushing through what is blocking us to find creativity. One of the reasons I, to be really vulnerable, have not made this dish in a moment is because was my ex's one of her favorite dishes. And it brought up a lot in me to go for this dish. It's one of my favorite dishes that I make, and, reclaiming ourselves after divorce, reclaiming ourselves after heartbreak, reclaiming ourselves after failure, reclaiming ourselves after all these things. And to realize, I even said failure, and I've had to work through a lot of feeling like a failure, being a single father, and realizing that I'm not, and that something greater than me is occurring within it all, and to surrender to that process. And in the moments where I really wish I had more support, I struggle, and I also push myself for greater things. I find more time to give to myself and yeah, we have to learn how to feel our feelings. And sometimes, because even yesterday when I was going through some heartbreak about this, I couldn't find a feeling to feel. And I just kept telling myself, like, this too shall pass. And so just allowing ourselves, like, sometimes we don't know exactly what's going on internally, and we just need a moment, and to give ourselves that moment. And yeah, if you fall into old patterns, if you fall into addictions, if you fall into different things that don't support you, you don't have to shame yourself. I mean, that's the whole thing that I'm getting at, is we overly shame ourselves to the point of where nothing is okay. And I mean, yeah, there's some things that we can do, patterns that are really not good for us, but you don't have to hate yourself because you're a human being that feels. You don't have to hate yourself because you're struggling for a moment. I think the most radical thing is when you love yourself, even when you're doing things that aren't fully aligned with who you want to be. And I guess to even be more vulnerable, I quit smoking about a year and a half ago, and yesterday I had a cigarette. And I just told myself, I'm not going to shame myself. I'm just going to have one, be done with it, and move on. Because if I shame myself, then that's the place where I'll do it again. And I'll keep doing it. But if I just realize, I'm a single dad on Father's Day, I'm sad, I want a cigarette, that's okay. And that happens, and I'm moving past it, and I'm making orange chicken, and life is okay. And I feel like that's the mechanism that traps us, is the shame spiral that we create within ourselves that never allows us to push where we want, because we don't allow ourselves to be human. We have to be perfect. And then, for some of us, it's like, oh, God's looking at me and shaming me and hating me, and I should be doing better. Or, if you take God out of the picture, it's like doing that all to yourself and just creating this whole internal dialogue of, you're not good enough, you never will be good enough. Oh, look at you, you're a piece of shit for doing what you just did. Sometimes you just gotta allow yourself to have the cigarette every now and then and love yourself through the process, and you won't need it anymore. And you'll be done. So I'm starting to flip the chicken. I'm using a spoon. Actually, I'll probably go up to the tongs just because it's easier. So you really just want to get one side crispy. When you flip it. So what you'll do is you'll kind of cook both sides, and then you'll kind of, once both sides are cooked, start tossing it around to get like the in-between. Oh yeah, this is looking good. And it doesn't have to be perfectly cooked on one side, because I will shake it around at the end. So I want like 80% way cooked on the side, a little bit of caramelization, pretty much there. And then it will finish up. The sauce is still going. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. I'm gonna add the soy. Just the tiniest amount of salt, because there's already so much salt with the soy and all of that. I'm going to take these scallions and cut them up. Yeah, you don't have to shame yourself. Let that go. Because, I feel like why so many of us shame ourselves is because, if I didn't shame myself, then I would just keep doing the patterns, and I would do the things that I don't really want for my life. I would just stay stuck in those. And it's like, no, most people, when you shame yourself, that's how you get stuck in those. That's how you get stuck in those patterns. It's, it's all this like reverse psychology, psychodrama that's happening within us. And we really have to hit this place of just allowing ourselves to be human, allowing ourselves to have these moments, and realize, just because you have these moments doesn't mean you can't be successful. You can't push for your dreams, Oh, this is a bunch of smoke. So now I'm just going to toss them around, because I got a good coating on each side. So I'm just going to keep doing that, just to let the chicken completely cook. And that sauce is still going. All right. All right, this is almost going to be done soon. I'm gonna try the sauce. It's gonna be hot, so, oh my God. This is gonna be good. So now at this point, I'm going to grab a little bowl, put this on the side. Oh, there goes my spoon. Now I'm gonna cook. Oh. Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna cook the veggies. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the veggies pretty much cooked, and then I'm gonna throw the chicken back in and then add some sauce to it and finish it up. Put some rice on the plate. This is gonna be a good dish. Yeah. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with yourself, because in that vulnerability is where your creativity is. In that vulnerability is where your heart lives, which allows you to have the life force to express yourself into what you really want to do, what you really wish to enjoy in life. And we have to allow ourselves to connect to that space, even when we're struggling. And, and just because you're tired and you don't want to do the thing that you're doing, I spent 3 hours this morning, I don't want to make this video, so that I could massage that out, so I could get more into my heart, so I can get more into what I'm actually doing. Give yourself the time to be vulnerable. However, for some of us, it's quicker than others. And yeah, I'm just going to keep preaching over here. There's no need to shame yourself. Oh, forgot to add a little oil. Let's add some around. So I'm pretty much going to get these almost done cooking. And then I'll add the chicken back in. Oh my God. That's nice. All the chicken back in. And yeah, I'm just going to have rice, this mixture, some scallions on top. Oh, I forgot the cilantro. You can omit cilantro. Cilantro is not a have to on this dish. I just love cilantro. I also like chunkier cilantro. I don't really like chopping it up. I just like the big pieces. So there it is. Yeah, so I hope what you really take away from this video is there's no need to shame yourself. You're the one blocking yourself from your creative expression, and that's okay. And just really realizing the obstacle is the way. What you're experiencing within you that feels tight is the path. You don't have to go around that. You're not trying to get rid of it. And I feel like that's what I did most of my life, and that's what some people do, is they just want that to go away. And it's like, no, that is what is moving you. That is what is trying to speak to you, and you're trying to run from it. Stop running from it. Your anxiety is just energy moving of oh, how am I going to do this? All these different things. Follow that. Work with it. The block is, oh, I'm not good enough. Open it up. See what comes out. We just want everything to always be perfect internally. We want to always not feel anxiety and only feel passion and all these things. And it's not true. It's not how it is. So anyone you talk to will tell you the exact same thing. You have to push through the anxiety, push through the depression. I mean, depression is a little bit different. You have to love yourself through the depression, push through your anxieties, open up your blockages, and you really find yourself. So you can wait for the sauce to be, the sauce is almost done, but I'm going to add a little bit just so it can really finish up in there. But you're wanting it, once you see it thicken up, it doesn't have to be completely thick done, because I'm going to add it in here to finish it up. So yeah, let's get this to a good place. All right, so I'm going to add the chicken back in. Get that mixed up. Oh, baby. I love this pan too. This hand-forged carbon steel pan. Woo! Maybe Smithy will one day sponsor my videos. That'd be a dream. All right. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, don't burn yourself. All right, so now I'm gonna, on the outside, I'm gonna add the mixture. About half of what I did. Oh yeah, look at that. There it is. I'm gonna go over here and get some rice. If I could find a wooden spoon. All right. Oh. Sometimes I set the best intention of having everything seamlessly work together and it doesn't always work out. Maybe one more flip because that was just so good. Oh, look at that chicken. All right. So then I just lay the rice down in a bed. Nice little bed for my chicken. Clean up the edges for it to look pretty for you. And now, the moment. Oh. Oh my gosh. Holy moly. Oh yeah, just a little bit more. Always need more chicken. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm also sometimes a mad scientist in the kitchen. You know, and I also really want to shout out the person who supported me most in life when it comes to pushing through my blockages, going for it, the obstacles, the way to get through it. Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much for how much you've shown me how to push through those and push for more of what I want out of life. I really appreciate that. Love you. All right, the scallions. Oh, the cilantro. Oh my. Oh, I got a big whiff of. Oh my God. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Shamelessly making my YouTube thumbnail. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my gosh. The time is now. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my gosh. I love orange chicken so much. Mmm. The umami and the sweetness of the coconut, because this is sweeter because the coconut aminos and the orange juice with all the vegetables. Oh, that's so. Oh my God! Look at all that cilantro. I love cilantro. Mmm. Hot. Hot. Woo. Wow. So what did we learn? What did I learn? Oh my gosh. Or what did you already know? Who knows? What you're feeling inside is guiding you. If you feel blocked, that is guiding you. That is showing you there's something inside of you that is blocking you from letting this energy out. If you're feeling lost, that is guiding you because you're searching the vastness of your consciousness and the vastness of expression to find what you're truly wanting to create. You just have to really put yourself out there to continually experience life so that you can really find what you're searching for, internally and externally, and create beautiful food along the way. I hope you follow your passion, achieve your dreams, and cook some orange chicken along the way. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and so many blessings to you. And I'll see you next time. Take care.